Welcome back, everybody, to the Las Vegas Raiders franchise here on Madden 26. We got a very busy episode coming today, so we're going to get right into it. First game up here against the Washington Commanders, followed by our bye week, and then a marquee matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers after that. The 1 and 2 seeds in the AFC currently will be going at it later today. Washington comes into this game at 3 and 7. They've had a rough go at things, particularly in their own division, with 3 one-score losses to the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants, all by less than 1 score. Just think about what the difference in their season outlook would be if they were able to win just some of those games. But now they're 1 and 3 in the division, past the midway point. They gotta be thinking that their season is pretty close to being over, especially coming off of 2 straight losses to the Giants and Dolphins. And overall, statistically, this team is very average. They don't score a lot of points. Only 18 per game is very poor, and they do actually have a pretty solid defense. 21 points per game is kind of like the benchmark of if you allow this or under, you have a pretty good defense. They actually do that. They don't allow a lot of passing yards. Rush defense, it's not great, but it's not in that territory of being extremely bad. In terms of offensive yards, they do okay. They just don't really seem to be able to convert. Passing wise, Jaden Daniels comes in with a fair season statistically. The efficiency is quite low. Yards per attempt at 6.7 is not great. The sacks, 26 of them through 10 games, about 2.5 per game, so the offensive line is okay. The run game, we've seen this with a lot of teams. Tyler Algier is doing okay yardage wise, but he's not really being efficient. None of the Commanders ball carriers are averaging more than 4 yards per carry, and again, that long on the year of only 10 yards for Algier is not very efficient. Receiving wise, they are led by Terry McLaurin. Deebo Samuel is their second leading receiver. Isaiah Likely is the starting tight end, and they do have Jalen Lane as the third receiver. I think matchup wise, I'd be interested to see if Deebo lines up in the slot. If he does, then I think we will keep Mekhi Blackmon right where he is. But if he lines up on the outside, I think this is a good matchup for Terrell Carey, kind of a bigger, a bit slower, stronger receiver, fits Carey's skill set well. Whereas McLaurin, a bit more of that alpha wide receiver 1 territory, very athletic. I think he's going to see a lot of Darian Porter today. Taking a look across the Washington offensive line, the tackles are very good in pass protection. Obviously, you have Laramie Tunsil, one of the best pass protectors of the past decade. And then on the right side, they have Miguel Salcedo, the rookie from USC. He's a very, very proven pass protector. A little bit light in the pants, 6'7", 305 pounds. The run blocking is not impressive, but that's where the interior of this offensive line starts to show up. Brandon Coleman, not as good of a pass protector, certainly struggles a bit against speed, but he won't be seeing too much of it today. The interior here at center, Tyler Biadasz, really nice run blocker, great in a zone running scheme. And then at right guard, you do have Sam Cosmi, one of the best overall guards in the league. So they have really good pass protectors at the tackle positions, stronger run blockers on the interior. And you'd like to think that with a power back like Tyler Algier and a mobile quarterback like Jaden Daniels, you'd be able to manipulate the numbers with Daniels' threat to pull on the zone read and then Algier's ability to run really well between the tackles. You'd think they'd be running the ball a little bit better than this. I think that our best way to counter it is to take advantage of Biadasz not being the greatest power blocker and come out in that odd front with Tommy Donaldson. Let him do his work two gapping and free up our linebackers to run through and bring down Algier. The former Raider Christian Wilkins has finally found himself a new home on the interior of Washington's defensive line. So Wilkins, he's a very good run defender. The pass rushing is okay. He's a good athlete. He's definitely someone we got to be concerned about, especially with him next to Daron Payne. Combined between the two of them, they have 7.5 sacks. Payne, little bit stronger, but still has a very nice pass rush profile with that power. They may have a strong interior pass rush, but the edge rush is not there. Addison Hampton is in his second year. He's got some speed and some finesse move, but nothing too concerning. And then Andrew Van Ginkel on the other edge. He's a good player, but not as a full-time edge rusher, I don't think. He's kind of the perfect mold for what we have Drew Sanders doing, which is dropping back into zone and being kind of a blitzer, not a full-time edge rusher. We tried to do that last year. Sanders didn't really work out. I do like the potential of these linebackers for Washington. Garrison Gilbert is a rookie, 6'2", 240, great speed, good tackler, needs to develop his coverage though, and that combined with Frankie Louvu being the other starting linebacker, the coverage for this unit really is not strong. The run defense, pretty good, but the coverage over the middle of the field, I would expect to see some holes. And then check out the work they've done trying to rebuild this secondary. They got a lot of youth here now along with Marshawn Lattimore. Now, Mike Samer's still more of a slot guy. Trey Amos is hurt, so we'll be seeing second-year man Parker Hilliard playing likely on the outside. I imagine Samers will be in the slot. Not a lot of speed from these corners. 90 is fine, but when we have a 95 speed receiver in Trey Tucker and a 94 speed receiver in Parker Griffin, I think we could have a matchup here, particularly if Marshawn Lattimore is seeing Parker Griffin. I think that Griffin could maybe be a bit of a Mike Evans type of player against Lattimore, if you will. He is very good in press coverage, as is Amos. Well, he's not going to be playing today, so instead I would expect to see Parker Hilliard. If he's in press coverage, that is a matchup we absolutely have to take advantage of. And then they do have a solid 3 safety rotation between the superstar Quan Martin, Xavier Woods, and then Jordan Fuller. It's a fine secondary. It's not very fast. They're more smart and heady, which gets you by in the NFL for most opponents. But when you're going against a team like us that has so much speed on the outside, this is a game where we could try and dial up those deep shots. Here we go, from Landover, Maryland. Raiders versus Commanders. A matchup of two teams that had their glory in the 80s and haven't had much success since. The Raiders seem to be on the turnaround, but the Commanders are kind of stuck in the mud. I'd like to ask everybody, take a second before this game starts to go ahead and like the video if you want to see more of the Raiders franchise, and subscribe if you are new. I also want to thank you very much for your support on the most recent Chalk Talk. We are doing great performance-wise on that one about pass protection. We're going to try and make sure our pass pro is pretty good for this episode. I'll be referring to that throughout the contest. But it's going to be the Commanders offense on the field first. Jaden Daniels, we're going to make sure that we are obviously containing him on any runs and read options. They're coming out with the attached tight end, so I think I want to start right now in Penny. Give me that odd front. And we have Porter matched up with Debo, who is not in the slot. So I'm going to go ahead and make a change here. Hand off to Tyler Algier, and he is going to get 6 yards on his first carry. I'm going to go ahead and switch Porter and Carey to make sure we get Porter on McLaurin and then Carey on Debo. You just never quite know when you're going up against these teams exactly how they're going to match up their corners. We get 4 wide here and a screen from Daniels out to the wide receiver, but Chauncey Cherry, look at how fast he flew down there to make that tackle. 3rd and 4 coming up now. And we have all 4 of our defensive ends on the field, running a little bit of cover 2 invert here. Going to see if we can get Daniels with the rotation. He's looking to throw, stepping up and scrambling now, and he's got the first down. He's got a lot of speed. We will have to go ahead with a bit more man this game with a spy if he's going to continue to do that against us. And I don't really want to run Stubby against Terry McLaurin. His release does scare me a little bit. Read option now blown up by Tommy Donaldson and Derek Hall. Excellent work. Brings up 3rd and 13. He said we stayed home against Daniels on that read option. That was absolutely perfect. And now we're going to get the long passing situation here. We are going to go ahead, dial up a little bit of a twist while still going with our cover 6 check. I'm going to back off Porter on McLaurin. Daniels to throw. He has time over the middle. Incomplete for Debo Samuel. That might have been a pick for us with CJ Clayton if it was a better throw. But we are going to go ahead and get off the field. Washington will punt. All right, Dale Burton and the Raider offense taking the field now. Remember, we've had some rough games with Burton, especially with his accuracy as of late. But I think today, the name of the game is the running game. These defensive ends for Washington do not impress me, but I don't feel like running right here. This, to me, looks like maybe a blitz or a cover 2. Either way, I'm going to throw Parker Griffin on this post here. We're going to boot out right. If Griffin's open, we have the throw back to him. We are rolling. Bowers is wide open. Hit him. Oh my goodness, it bounces off his head. Bowers has to catch it on the ricochet. He had so much running room. It was pressure from Washington. The play was perfect, but I'm not even going to say it was a bad throw from Burton. That's just a wonky Madden play. Looks like a zone tell. We're going to read the left side spacing concept. Here we go. Work it and just hit Parker Griffin. That is his first catch. Gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 7. We are nearly in field goal range. They're playing quarters. That's what they just ran against us, was quarters. So I'm going to go ahead. We will go empty with the bunch look. This is a weird look because they got one safety in the middle, but it looks like it could be man. That's a linebacker out there over Genty. So we got to work this out. The corner out to man could be there. We have to step up, though. Burton breaks away from Daron Payne, and he's going to get the first down. Lattimore cannot bring him down. I'll say, man, the elusiveness for Burton in the pocket has been getting a lot better as of late. Those improviser upgrades are certainly doing something. And it was one double, so teams, they just continue to run one double against us. And it works somewhat, but it just leaves so many holes open. We're going to run toss right behind Parker Griffin. Use Bowers as the lead blocker to give us +1 out here. Use the speed. Good seal from Bowers. That's going to be an easy first down run for Genty as he goes out of bounds inside the 30. Okay, we got single high here. I like our matchup with Trey Tucker on the outside. If the corner bails with him, we're going to throw underneath to Savion Williams. No, we got him. Trey Tucker, I shouldn't have lofted that ball. It gets knocked away. If I just ripped it, we probably have a touchdown, but I lofted it, trying to give him as much space as possible. That is on me. Motion from Ray Davis. We are going to run a little bit of spot, but rip the post to Josh Mann. He brings it in with coverage all over him. Man, he's got some of the most secure hands on this team. Bit of a rough throw there from Burton. I didn't want him to leap for it, but man, able to use that big frame to box out Hilliard there. Certain size mismatch there, and we're able to get inside the 10. First down, handed off to Genty. Follow Jack Westover. Ashton Genty down to the 1-yard line. Not quite able to punch it in, but 2nd and goal from the 1. We got our chance now to just QB sneak this thing. And that is exactly what we do. Dale Burton takes it across. Daron Payne tried to stop him there, but we're just so close to the end zone. We were going to get it eventually. Another rushing touchdown for Burton, and we take the early lead. Washington offense back on the field. They're going to start with a power run to Tyler Algier. He gets to that right edge and is able to get the first down. Gain of 14. We went with a 6-man front there, and they just went ahead and blocked. Drew Sanders got the edge with a very nice run. Motion for Daniels is going to be a fake handoff, giving it now to the receiver, going to the right. He's able to get one. Matias not able to bring him down for a loss quite yet. It brings up 3rd and 9. In Washington, they are having 2 tight ends on the field, but I honestly don't really buy this. It's a passing situation. We're going to go ahead and keep nickel on the field. Back Porter off of McLaurin, and we are prepared for the pass. Daniels to throw. He's only got 2 routes on the field. In trouble. Throws it down the field. Looking for Samuel. He caught it! C.J. Hicks not able to bring the ball down, but it is going to be holding on Washington. I saw the flag as the ball was in the air. Isaiah Likely, we will accept that penalty. Brings up 3rd down and 19. A very long situation. I think we're just going to go ahead and do our cover 2 and just protect the sticks here. So we go ahead, back everyone up, all the routes down the field. Daniel's in trouble. He is sacked by Tyree Wilson, playing some interior defensive line in that NASCAR front. Let's go ahead and check that out again. We had him on a stunt, and he came from the interior. I think he may have just ran all the way around. And that is exactly what happened here. Wilson lined up in that wide 3 technique. We're going to get a little bit of a ET stunt here from Princely Umamiela. Nice job taking up both blocks from Tunsil, and Coleman frees up Wilson. And he is a pretty good athlete for how big he is. Daniels, he senses the pressure a little bit late, starts rolling out, and he has nothing down the field. I mean, they ran curls, right? This is the Kevin Patullo special. So Wilson able to chase him down and get the sack. 3rd and 8 after a short completion to Brock Bowers. Looks like we have, I think this is probably man-to-man, honestly. Pressed up alignment for both the corners. We're going to try and work the crash concept on the trip side. It's not there. We got to run with Burton trying to get the first down. They give it to us. A very fortunate spot there as we were just able to get the first down. It was man. And it's kind of the one thing that some of these Washington DBs are good at is the press man coverage. We couldn't free up on crash. We are able to get the first down, though. And we're going to go ahead and try and get some inside zone going against the load front. Give it to Genty. Good blocks. Trey Tucker, nice block. He blocks really well for his size. Genty gets sprung to the 21. 2nd and 5. Handoff to Genty. Nice block from Steve Holloway. Olu Fashanu on the 2nd level were able to get the first down to the 8. 1st and goal. Motion from Genty. Linebacker running with him. Looks like we might have some man coverage. Hit Brock Bowers. He makes the catch down at the 2. Gonna try and get him here. A little bit of trickery. Hand off to Trey Tucker. Going outside. Look at how fast Quan Martin comes downhill, though. Brings Tucker down for a loss of 5. 3rd and goal now. Okay, we have zone. 3rd and goal, we're working Haas. So the throw is Josh Mann. We have to have him open things up. Here we go. Run the over route. Get it to Mann, but he can't haul it in. Martin breaks it up. And he's made 2 huge plays on this drive to stop it from becoming 14-0. Handoff on 1st down. Blown up. Princely Umamiela in there to make the tackle. Jaden Daniels scramble on 2nd down, brings up 3rd and 5. Tight looks, we're sending some slot pressure here. Daniels, he's in trouble, really feeling it, has to throw it off his back foot. Likely could not reach out to make the catch. It'll go down as a breakup for CJ Clayton because he swatted the ball, but Daniels just did not look comfortable there. And I think you can credit Mekhi Blackman for that. Look at the pressure he's able to create here. A little bit of a better angle, and he probably gets to Daniels. Instead, he runs into Brandon Coleman, but we have everything covered up pretty well. I will say this sort of likely probably is the right way to go. You may have the running back here out to the flat, but it looks like CJ Clayton's going that way. But Daniels, he just doesn't get his feet really set. He's kind of jittering around the pocket. And all right, so 3 straight stops for the defense puts us in the prime position right now. With us getting ball to start the 2nd half, we have the opportunity to take most of or all of the 2nd half, get some points, and then come right back out, try and get that 2-for-1 special. So let's go ahead and start on the ground. Run games are really, really good today. We'll run some counter here. Give it to Genty. Wide open running lanes. Freeze Ashton Genty past the 35. Just such massive lanes to run through. I could have made a run through there. 2nd and 5. We haven't seen this passing play in a while. Tight end to the flat. Opens up Trey Tucker on the spot route. Another first down. We are into Washington territory for the 3rd time today. All right, 3rd and 6. We are going empty. Looks like we might have a cover 2. So this throw probably has to go to Josh Mann, or we have to run with Burton stepping up in the pocket, trying to pull away. We cannot get the first down. 4th and 2 here. We can take it down to the 2-minute warning, and I think I'm okay with kicking it. Washington has not impressed me thus far. We'll let the time run down here. Is calling a play so the clock runs a bit faster. It's 56 yards. We can obviously make this. Wind is against us, 7 miles an hour, so may not see any long kicks from AJ Marks in this direction, but defense has been great, and I feel pretty comfortable with this lead that we have right now, especially with us getting the ball to start the 2nd half. So Marks on for a 56-yard field goal. AJ Cole to hold. Marks, the rookie, drills it right down the middle with plenty of room to spare. All right, so 2-minute drill coming up now for Washington, but we're going to send a little bit of pressure. It is a play fake for Daniels. He is sacked. Taken down. There is Mekhi Blackman on the slot. blitz. Did not have time to run that play fake with the pressure coming, and they're going to come right back out with the same exact formation. I am not going to send pressure, but I will go ahead and buzz down into cover 3. I feel like we really got Daniels kind of jittery right now. Still have 2 backs in the backfield. Throwing again. Angle route out to Diaz. That's the fullback. I will actually call my timeout here. 3rd and 13. I would expect a run, but we are still pass committing, and it is a pass for Daniels. He's stepping up, trying to run, throwing the wheel route to his running back, broken up by Glenn Ramsey. Algier could not bring it down. And check out the first-round pick edge rusher running stride for stride with Tyler Algier in man coverage. This is a route that you definitely could win on, but look at Ramsey. He's in great position the whole way. Daniels identifies that this is his throw. There's no one else open. Maybe Terry McLaurin on the dig here against Darian Porter, but he had to work all the way back to that throw. Tommy Donaldson gets hit on Daniels, so he has to let this go. But look at Glenn Ramsey just in phase. Swats the ball away. Doesn't even just panic and just let Algier jitter around to drop it. No, he gets that hand up. That's an excellent rep. Ashton Jeanty on the last drive crossed over 1,000 rushing yards on the season. We're going to try and get him active in the receiving game, though, with a little screen going back across the formation. Get it to Jeanty. Follow Terry Weary. Give me a block. And Gilbert just able to track Jeanty down. I will go no huddle here, but we do have time, so I'm not totally pressured. I'm okay with trying to find my play. We have plenty of time here. A field goal still does us a lot of good in this situation. I'll say, when Washington has been going man, they have been impressive. They are not in man here, though. This could be cover 0, so I want to throw this out route to Brock Bowers fast. There's no cover down player over him. We should be able to get there. The defensive end actually got there pretty fast. We throw it to Jeanty. We don't get the first down, so we do have to hurry up here a little bit. Let's get to the line, just snap the ball and run it. Give it to Jeanty. There's the first down, so now we can spike. We're pushing it here. If we get the spike off fast, we could have 2 plays. And I think we will. 11 seconds, we can run 2 plays here with a timeout. I was trying to get maybe a little bit more yardage ahead of a field goal attempt, but we ended up missing the throw. So we're just going to throw the screen out here, Trey Tucker. We make it a little bit closer, but we will call the timeout right here with 2 seconds and kick another field goal to go up 16-0 at half. And it is booted right down the middle by A.J. Mark. So we're up 16-0 at halftime. Really, offense just kind of trudging along, doing our thing. Run game's good. Haven't thrown the ball that much. Need to open up the play action game a little bit more, because we have been running the ball really well. But the star of the show is the defense, and it's been the pass rush. We've gotten some pressure on Jaden Daniels. We've made him very uncomfortable. He's been throwing the ball away and throwing it off his back foot, not setting his feet, just not doing a good job. And the run game, they haven't really tried to do it. Now, they're only down 2 scores. I would love to be up by 3 right here. So they could try and go back to running the ball. I don't know if they will, but they certainly can if they so choose. But the defense has been great. It allows me to play a little bit more conservatively on offense and not feel like we have to push so much. There he is, the QB rushing leader, Dale Burton. Certainly the best rushing quarterback in the NFL, right, guys? So, 1st down and 10. I wanted to dial up the deep post to Parker Griffin, but it's not going to be there because they got middle of the field closed. So we'll go ahead, we'll hand it off to Ashton Jeanty on 1st down. Great blocks. Trey Tucker once again. Jeanty just gets sprung past midfield. Over 100 yards today. The O-line is just dominating, and the receivers are doing a great job blocking downfield. Keeping it on the ground, giving it to Jeanty, wide open, running room, trying to go up and over, but Jeanty fumbles the ball. It's scooped up by Gilbert, and Washington has the ball right back. That is the play they needed. I don't know why I decided to go with the hurdle. Only defender, Quan Martin, between me and the end zone, and I choose to try and go over him, not go around him, not run him over. That was stupid, but at the same time, I thought that I could actually make it work with Genty. Well, defense back on. We've been good today. So, I'm hoping this doesn't bite me too badly. Empty look, Daniels throws, quick out to Isaiah Likely, breaks a tackle, Mekhi Blackman, and Washington, for the first time today, is inside of Raider territory. Oh, Alohi Gilman's at linebacker. I need to change our linebacker depth chart after this play. Daniels is going to run. He goes down after a gain of 7. Like, what is this, EA? Why are we doing this? Like, there's no reason why my perfectly set up depth chart needs to be reset at halftime. I also got to reset the coaching adjustments because all these moved off of conservative back to balanced. Handoff going outside. This is Algier. He's got the edge. He breaks a tackle, and he's down to the 31. So this turnover, man, it might just hurt us because Washington's having their best drive. They're finally able to run the ball. We got a little go-go here. Okay, that is a look that we have not seen at all in this franchise. So 2 backs to the same side of each other. We're running quarters. It's 4 strong. We should be able to match this no problem. It'll be a play fake for Daniels. He's only got 3 routes on the field. Throws it underneath. Algier gets away from Drew Sanders because I sent him after Daniels. And of course, that's the man who went. It's not Matthias, who's sitting in the middle of the field with no one on him. No, it's Drew Sanders who's actually covering someone, and that's the throw. Of course it is. So Washington into the red zone now. 1st and 10. Algier still in the game. A little bit tired, however. We are blitzing Daniels. Got to get the ball out fast. It is Algier, but there's no one on him. He's taken down by Darian Porter. We had someone on him. I don't know what happened. Motion from Debo. We got to go with him in case it is a pop pass. It is not. Handoff to Brian Robinson. He gets taken down. 3rd and 1. Massive 3rd and 1 here. And Washington's going to come out with the 3 tight ends. I'm gonna send pressure. There's gonna be zone pressure. They got the 3 tight ends on the field. We're gonna walk the backers up. We are in the box, ready for the run. Handoff to Algier. Runs right through, untouched for a touchdown. And my stupid decision to hurdle with Ashton Genty has really, really hurt us. Washington is going to go for 2. They have the 3 tight ends on the field again. It'll be a play fake for Daniels. In trouble, taken down by Brendan Mays. So still a 10-point game. A massive, massive stand by the defense there on the 2-point conversion. We will get the ball back, still up by 2 possessions. 1st down, and we are throwing with Burton. There's no one open. We get taken down. Frankie Louvu with the sack. We got stuck trying to get out that side. I'll go back into the pocket. At that point, everything was covered. A loss of 6. And we've just not really been able to separate from this Washington coverage so far. They've been going with a lot of man. Looks like zone here this time. Ripped the route over the middle to Parker Griffin. He had to come back for it. It's a gain of 8. But man, 3rd and 8, another long 3rd down. Here we go, 3rd down and 8. Hit Josh Mann, no one underneath. They protected the sticks a little bit too much. Mann able to get the 1st down. That is a very, very big play there because I did not want to give that ball right back to Washington after the drive they just had. This RPO to Griffin should be wide open provided no one drops out. They don't. We hit him. Parker Griffin, you got speed. You got room to run. Griffin down to the 30. I thought he maybe could have scored there if Washington didn't react fast enough. There was no one between him and the end zone. All right, 1st down. Bowers in motion. We have him running a little bit of a wheel route off of a free release. We're going to lob it to the end zone. Him versus a corner. Not able to bring it down. Hilliard able to break it up instead. I will take that throw every single time, though, to Brock Bowers. Looks like Stubby here for Washington. Look who's open, though. It is Washington. Darnell Washington inside the 5. Touchdown! Raiders! The big 290-pound 3rd string tight end. Only here because he's the best blocking tight end in the league. Just pulls away. The rub route on Frankie Louvu did its job in Washington. He is fast for how big of a tight end he is. And once he gets that full head of steam going, you're not stopping him. And after that extra point, we are now up by 17 because of the failed 2-point conversion from Washington. So that play really is paying dividends for us right now, because now we're up by 3 scores. I feel much, much better about our lead with the defense back on the field. 2 tight ends still for the Commanders. They bring likely in motion. Algier gets the play fake, and Daniels to throw. He's sacked! Taken down by Drew Sanders, the newest superstar for our defense. What happened here? Did he actually win? He did win. Clean win against Salcedo, the rookie right tackle, and check out the closing speed. 2nd and 16, we're sending pressure at Daniels. In trouble, throws it at the feet of McLaurin. Sanders and Mays were the ones in there. We are sending just so much pressure at Jaden Daniels. Like, he is really, really feeling it. And the pressure has been the thing that is working. We're going to take Princely Umamiela, and we will take Jonathan Brooks out of the backfield if he goes on a route. He does. Daniels in trouble and sacked. Tommy Donaldson, the pass rush does its job on this drive. Completely took over. And Washington, they're going to have to punt again. 1st down, deep play fake for Burton. Oh, we got Brock Bowers. Luvu matched up, cannot keep up. Bowers with the catch down to the 31. They went man coverage. No way are you keeping up with Brock Bowers. Over the middle, pass caught. Ashton Jeanty makes a nice move down inside the 5. A gain of 26 on just a little option into an angle route. Just such a good little route to use. You have all those options with your back depending on what the coverage is. Jeanty reads it perfectly, and he gets us a big gain. 1st and goal. Washington does not have enough guys out here for us to run, toss, and defend it well. Out to Jeanty. Holloway, we got to get out there. If he actually goes out and blocks Jordan Fuller, we walk in. Okay, it's 3rd and goal. I don't want to get too cute here and turn the ball over. We're already up by 3 scores, so I'm just going to run the ball. We'll take our points if we can get them. And Ashton Jeanty on the outside zone, just scratch all of that. He's able to fight his way through contact for the touchdown. I was totally content just centering the ball up and kicking a field goal, going up by 20, but Jeanty had other plans. All right, it really is crunch time for Washington now with not a lot of time. They're down by 24. They're going to have to score fast, and we've been getting a ton of pressure on Jaden Daniels. That pass is dropped by Terry McLaurin. If they can't even do that right, I mean, you may as well just pack it up. And at this point, I smell blood in the water. I want to send pressure at Daniels in all the creative ways that I possibly can. Screen out to Algier. We're all over it. Look at these linebackers flying around. 3rd down and 10. We're mugging the line. We're going to bail out of this. Daniels looking to throw. Everything short. Gets hit. Ball's out. It is going to be a 1st down. Nice moves by the receiver. They're able to get the 1st down because we had Daniels. He got hit by Mays right as he got rid of that ball. Screen being set up out to Jonathan Brooks. He gets a block, but we are able to force him out of bounds. CJ Hicks does just enough to knock Hicks out. And Washington, they are moving. They are having one of their best drives at this point. They still have a long ways to go, though. We're going to blitz CJ Clayton here on 1st and 10. Daniels feels it, lofts it out. Algier wide open. He's been a very impactful receiver. Spins out. Gilman, he breaks a tackle, and he's down now inside the red zone to the 20. That is the one weakness of our 2 deep fire zones, is that we do not get anyone out on the back when the back is 3 and he goes all the way out. Really good drive going now for Washington, but the clock running down. They're going to hand it off to Brooks. Derek Hall brings him down. They're running out of time. They're not going to have enough time here. All right, everybody, this is it. 4th down and goal. Washington going to go for it. This is pretty much the game. Daniels to throw. Outside, caught by Terry McLaurin for a touchdown. That was my zone. Yeah, I totally just did something completely different. They ran bench, and the corner out was open. So, Washington going to get 1 more touchdown here. They're gonna go for 2. Last time they went for 2 really did not go well. We'll see if this time goes any better. They're coming out full house. We will shade the linebackers, walk them up. Daniels to throw. He's just running slants, caught McLaurin. He finally gets one against Darian Porter. He's had a very good game today, but I think this is really too late. The drive took far too long. 5 minutes and you're still down by 3 possessions. And I'm not even going to onside kick it. Like, yeah, this game is pretty much over. All right, so game over. Washington, they dragged this thing out as much as they possibly could. They took a drive all the way down to the goal line. Just started running around with Jaden Daniels constantly. Then we turned them away on 4th down. And then they called their timeouts. And of course they got the ball back again. But we did sack Jaden Daniels twice. So we boosted our stats a little bit there. Dominant win. Defense was amazing. Lock down the entire game. Offense, it was a whatever game, right? We kind of just did whatever we wanted. We ran the ball extremely well. If I didn't fumble with Genty, then this game is probably like not even a contest. It was so dominant from start to finish. Like Jaden Daniels, 4.2 yards per attempt, 51% completion percentage. Dale Burton, on the other hand, was very efficient. 16 for 24, just a hair under 200 yards. The run game for us, Genty was excellent. Obviously, that one fumble. We did give Ray Davis a lot of touches at the end of the game just to save Genty a little bit. Washington did run the ball pretty well. They just got down so early they couldn't really stick with it. Daniels was being effective in the running game. But the big story here for Washington, they had a number of drops. They had 4 as a team and a couple of really big ones. Not very effective day for the receivers. Great job by the secondary. And defensively, how about 8 tackles for Matias, 7 for Sanders, along with 2 TFLs and a sack. He might get another breakout opportunity here. We got sacks from Sanders, Blackman, Hall, Wilson, Mielon, Donaldson, and Terrell Carey. That's the best pass rushing performance I would imagine of the series, along with 5 PBUs. Just a great game from our defense. Into the bye week with the best record in the NFL. You see, we keep the 1 seed. Pittsburgh stays as the 2. Jacksonville is the 3. And then New England is the 4. Your wildcard teams, Denver, Kansas City, and Buffalo. And we do have some upgrades for some big name players here. Let's go ahead and start with Ashton Genty. This upgrade would get him to a 91 overall. I don't think there's any particular ratings I'm chasing here, so we'll go ahead with an elusive upgrade. Dale Burton with another upgrade point. We'll go ahead and put that into the improviser category. Get those ratings that I care so much about up here. This looks to be a pretty good one. We get +1s in a lot of areas. His throw accuracy, short and medium, he's really close to maxing that out. I mean, eventually you're going to have to go with somewhere else other than short and medium accuracy here. Chauncey Cherry will get a pass coverage upgrade up to a 78 overall. 2-man, 2-zone. Gotta love it. That gets him 70+ in both categories. And then last but not least, Eric Ramos. He's going to get one more upgrade here. This should take him to a 74 overall. I think we want to focus actually on the power. We've done a nice job developing those finesse ratings and the pass protection. We can go ahead and go power again here. And he's up to a 74. And this upgrade for Ramos is at a very timely opportunity in the bye week because it's time to talk about some free agents. You see, we have $147 million in cap space. And our first free agent on the board to talk about is Olu Fashanu. I think Fashanu has been okay. He's been fine. He hasn't developed that much. And considering that we have Ramos, who is 2 years younger, his overall is 5 less, but his dev is higher, and he is cheaper, I think that Fashanu is probably a guy that we let go. He wants to be here, but I just don't see us paying him when we have Ramos. We have a plan moving forward at right tackle, because I don't think Colton Miller's retiring at least in the near future, at this point, Ramos is going to year 3. We kind of have to see what we have in him and his X Factor development. Jackson Powers-Johnson, on the other hand, he wants to be here very, very badly. He does not want a large contract, and I am totally willing to give him the max here. A player-friendly deal worth 4 years, just a hair over $10 million. I mean, this is still really, really cheap for a guy who is as good as him. I tend to go with the very player-friendly deal because EA often underrates certain players like this. Like JPJ at 24 years old, at his time to get this contract extension, he'd be getting a lot more money than this. So I give the very player-friendly deal to try and hurt my cap as much as possible, if that makes sense. But this is still a ton of free money here. He obviously accepts. We lock up our center for the next 4 years. Alohi Gilman is another player who is a free agent to be. I think that I'm going to let him walk. I like what we have with CJ Hicks and Clayton. And then if I want to keep a third safety, we have Keely Ringo. We also have Malachi Moore. So I think we got to decide between these two guys also who we might want to bring back to be the third safety. Because I don't think that Gilman is the guy to spend money on. It's not a lot of money at $8 million, but we could probably be okay letting him go. Ray Davis also a free agent. Keon White. Darnell Washington. I mean, we have the money, and he wants to be here. So, I mean, we could keep on re-signing Darnell Washington because we have the money to do so and pay him like a tight end 2, even though he's our tight end 3 because Josh Mann's on a cheap rookie deal. I'm okay with doing that. This is probably a move, though, that we don't do right now, but I'm fine keeping him. No other big name free agents other than that, so let's go ahead and just take a look around the league and see how we are stacking up statistically. We're obviously going to be at the top for a lot of these yardage ranks because we haven't had our bye week yet, but look at Dale Burton here. The efficiency, it's not quite what it was last year. Last year was very, very efficient, but he is performing quite well. He has a higher yards per attempt. The completion percentage is similar. He has thrown some more interceptions. However, the yards per game has taken a massive leap forward, though, as well as the rushing totals. Ashton Genty, not on the same kind of pace that he was last year. He still should break that 16 touchdown goal that he has. He has 2 through the air and 12 on the ground, so he only needs 2 more throughout the rest of the season. He has cleaned up the fumbling from last year, which is nice, and he is rushing even a little bit more efficiently than last year at 6.5 yards per carry. And as for the award races, we still lead for Coach of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year, it's between Ashton Genty and Adonai Mitchell, the two guys that we've seen a lot of in this season. Defensive Player of the Year, we don't have anyone here. Rookie of the Year, it's going to be tough for us to catch Jerry Durant. I imagine he's getting fed a ton of targets in that Tennessee offense, as opposed to Griffin and Mann, who really are kind of just getting peppered occasionally. Chauncey Cherry leads for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Ashton Genty in the lead for Best Running Back. O-line, again, this is just long snappers for some reason. Derek Hall and Tommy Donaldson are 7th and 8th for Best Defensive Lineman. Chauncey Cherry in 3rd for Best Linebacker. And we also have AJ Marks now leading for Best Kicker. So Pittsburgh has lost again, 2 in a row after our bye week. It has now dropped them to 4th in the AFC. They're in a 3-way tie with New England and Jacksonville for the 2 seed. The AFC is quite messy, honestly, aside from us in first place. Now, ahead of this game, we did suffer an injury in practice. It is Olu Fashanu. He is out for the game, but Pittsburgh has also lost Alex Highsmith. So we are losing an edge protector while Pittsburgh is losing an edge rusher. And we actually do have the chance now to make a big decision if we want to go with DJ Glaze or Eric Ramos. You know, I really think TJ Watt is going to rush off the right side. We can't go with Eric Ramos, not yet. He's still not quite ready as a pass protector to handle TJ Watt. We're going to go with DJ Glaze. Oh my. That says 30-3 to the Vikings, who had one win. Oh my gosh. So Pittsburgh, they got blown out by the Chargers too. What is this team? They blew out the Cardinals, got blown out by the Chargers, have blown out the Browns, got blown out by the Vikings. They've won a lot of games close. Rams, Bengals, Ravens, Niners. All these games are within one score, so maybe they're a little bit of a paper tiger. Okay, Tim Hammond, I expected him to be having a much better second season. Remember, he was a guy that I did like in the draft, and I considered taking him if he made it to our second first-round pick, which he did not end up doing. He's not having a very strong year this year. 12 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. This team is winning because of their defense. This is a defense that ranks in the top 5 in all statistical categories. Points per game, 4th, passing yards, 3rd, and rushing yards, 5th. The offense, I mean, this is just Pittsburgh Steeler football, right? They play great defense and middling offense, and they win games because of it. Look at this, everybody. Finally, a team that has a starting running back averaging more than 4 yards per carry. Jalen Warren. They also have Jonathan Shelton getting a fair amount of carries. The rookie out of Georgia. Normal development, but very, very fast. I imagine they have a third down running back, power running back kind of split there. At receiver, Christian Kirk, who I imagine is playing out of the slot, is their leading receiver. They do have DK Metcalf. This is an interesting matchup here. You know, I think this should be a Darian Porter matchup, I would say, of Metcalf. Carries not quite fast enough, and I think Porter can hang with Metcalf's size and speed a little bit better. Kendrick Bourne also has been doing pretty well. This receiving core is very interesting. Pat Freiermuth is a fine tight end. Taking a look at the offensive line, they have a lot of road graders in the middle. Wyatt Milam, Joe Tippmann, and Zach Frazier, all very good run blockers. But the tackle position, Troy Fautanu, does struggle a little bit against speed, so that does give a little bit of credence to a possible Glenn Ramsey game. And then left tackle, I believe they're actually starting Will Neal. He is labeled as a future starter and 1 overall lower than bridge player Walker Little. If it is Little, he struggles a bit against power, which is great for Derek Hall. Neal, he's a bit more balanced, so it's a little bit better of a pass protection matchup. And TJ Watt has 11 sacks, which leads the team, still kicking in his year 11 season. Alex Highsmith is out for this game. That does help us, but they do have a nice interior pass rush. Keanu Benton at a 79. Very nice blend of run stopping as well as pass rush. And they also have Derek Harmon now in year 3, who is starting to come around. They have a very, very similar skill set there. It's going to be a very tough team for us to run the ball against. The 3 linebackers, Patrick Queen, Jelani Taylor, and then Jack Kaiser, all kind of are the same blend. They're big, they run fast, and they hit, but they're not great in coverage. In the secondary, Joey Porter has 3 interceptions. Jalen Ramsey, he is still playing corner, not at safety. 91 speed for the 32-year-old Ramsey. Still got plenty of juice in the tank. And then I imagine that Beanie Bishop is playing in the slot, but maybe it's Ramsey? Well, we'll take a look when we get in the game. And then the safety room, they got Deshaun Elliott, and then it looks like a rotation, maybe? Well, this is a very messy rotation. You got Kevin Winston, who is one of my favorite young players from the draft in real life last year, but they also have Chuck Clark and... Okay, well, I think the EA servers just went down. Okay, we're back. Servers are back up now. Malik Hooker, Chuck Clark, and Kevin Winston are the safety rotation, is what I was trying to say. Not a lot of speed here with the safeties, but I do think that the corners are fast enough to hang with our receivers. Hey, look, it's Emmanuel Forbes. And we also have a Trust Your Staff storyline. I'm all ears to hear about any game planning for this week with a tough opponent. And our DC has got them figured out. He's saying that Tim Hammond is not that kind of guy. I 100% agree with him. +5 zone coverage for all defensive backs. That is big for our secondary. We got to worry about the run game, though. I think that we do. I think that's their better strength of the offense. Maybe 20 years ago, but you got to pass the ball today? Okay, we'll win this game easily. We'll see about that, Steven. 2+ interceptions and win the game is our goal. All right, welcome to Pittsburgh with a very likely playoff matchup. Is that Snoop Dogg? Oh, they drag him to every home game too? So we got Charles Woodson, the Patriots got Gronk, the Chiefs got Jamal Charles, but the Steelers got Snoop Dogg. What other characters do other teams have? I don't know if there are any. I think the Vikings maybe have Randy Moss, but geez, star-studded cast that all these teams bring out to their home games. But it's the 10-1 Raiders taking on the 7-4 Pittsburgh Steelers, current 1 versus 4 seed in the AFC. Two teams trying to make their push for the best playoff seeding possible, and we are going to start on offense. All right, against a defense like this, my biggest priority is to go ahead and get Dale Burton going with something easy, and right now there's no cover down player over Josh Mann, so we have the numbers out here to throw this screen to Parker Griffin. We get a blitz from Ramsey. Get it to Griffin. Josh Mann, I don't know what we're doing there, but it's a gain of 5. Ramsey comes on the cornerback blitz, and I'm thinking we might get pressure here again off this left side. We have a corner, 2 corners here over Trey Tucker. Let's see. No pressure comes, but Griffin is open. He makes his second catch of the drive, and that is enough for a first down. Here and run outside zone. Let Griffin help Josh Mann out. Give it to Genty. We get to the edge. There we go. Ashton Genty with a first down run of 12 down at midfield. I want to see here. I want to come out in a 3 receiver set and see where does Ramsey line up. He's on the outside. Okay, so that's going to be Beanie Bishop in the slot. We're going to go play fake here. Boot to the left, hit Trey Tucker. That ball's out a little bit late. I forgot what button Tucker would be, so I had to think for a moment. 2nd and 10. This could be a pressure look off the left side. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. I want to see the slop route from Tucker. It's open. Hit him, makes the catch with Beanie Bishop. Now it's Joey Porter all over him, able to fit it in there. They loaded the box, but did not send anyone. 2nd down, give it to Ashton Genty. Bounce off of Ramsey. That is enough for a first down. Savion Williams in the game. We're going to go play fake, boot left once again. We couldn't get it last time. We can't get it this time. Knocked up in the air, intended for Josh Mann. Seen a lot of cover 2 so far out of Pittsburgh. I think it's what we have again here. Middle field's open, so I like the post to Josh Mann. It's not there, though. We try to fit it into Savion Williams, but Patrick Queen knocks it out. It was quarter, half. Very funky look here from Pittsburgh. We're just going to go ahead and do jet right. We might just have straight press man. Let's see here. Oh, we have time. We have time. Float it. Parker Griffin in the end zone makes the catch for a touchdown. TJ Watt definitely cannot cover the 6'3", 230-pound Parker Griffin. We just run 2 crossing routes acting as a deep mesh. We just need a little bit of time and float it out there. Griffin able to make the catch. Now caps off a very impressive opening drive. All right, defense takes the field. We'll go ahead and have all of our conservative option defense on. And remember, we got to see, where does DK line up here? He has Terrell Carey over him currently. I will let Carey start there with the handoff to Shelton on first down. Sergio Matias just vacates the A-gap. Not sure what he was doing there, but it's a gain of 9. 2nd and inches, and Pittsburgh responding with going empty. We're running cover 1 with a spy over the middle. Hammond to throw outside for Metcalf. Breaks a tackle away from Carey, and that is one area that they may have us beat. Carey and Porter, not the most physical corners. Carey does tackle a little bit more willingly than Porter does. I'm really kind of stuck between who I want matching up with Metcalf. They're going to go wide zone here. Give it to Shelton on first down. He breaks away. Terrible angle taken by me. Shelton, with Porter chasing him, gets down to the 2-yard line. I took a horrible angle. Gotta remember that Shelton is really, really shifty. Much more so than some of these other running backs we've been playing. First down. Give it to him, and Shelton is in. What a drive for Pittsburgh. 4 plays right down the field. It's one of the most competitive drives we've seen from an opponent in a very, very long time. On first down, we try to hand it off to Parker Griffin, but TJ Watt gets his revenge right there. The jet sweep plays just don't work, and it's so disappointing because they're really, really good plays. They're a great play to have in your repertoire on offense. It brings up 2nd and 13. I like this out route to Bowers. If we can get it, we don't, so we hit Trey Tucker instead, but he can't hang on. Broken up by Joey Porter. We now got 3rd and 13. We are going to slide to TJ Watt. Middle of the field is open. Looks like we might have quarter, half. Again, here we get slot pressure. We have to get rid of the ball over the head of Genty and should have been picked off by Patrick Queen. I saw the pressure coming, but I knew that my check down wasn't going to get me the first down, so I tried to force it, and then I panicked a bit and threw it to Genty instead. It's just a really, really rough drive. They didn't even send pressure. They just did a sim blitz. Man, that's tough. All right, well, the run defense certainly needs to be a lot better if this is how Pittsburgh is going to be attacking us today. 1st and 10, we're in Penny, they're in bunch. Toss out to Shelton, trying to get to the edge. This time, we are much more prepared with only allowing a gain of 1. Pittsburgh's really been giving us a lot of tight and condensed looks here, so we're going to send some bit of pressure. Hammond throwing outside over the head of Christian Kirk. We got lucky there with an open receiver. And 3rd and 9. Bunch look. I would prefer if we can get the load on the other side, but we're not going to. The load always goes away. So it'll be 3rd down and 9. Hammond to throw. Nothing over the middle of the field. Everything's just sitting down there. He's going to run and pull away from Mekhi Blackman. 1st down, Tim Hammond. He is quite mobile. Pass rush did absolutely nothing for us there. My auto subs are all screwed up. And like, it's starting to do this too. It sets Tyree Wilson as the starter at edge, even though everywhere else I have Glenn Ramsey as the starter. I don't know why it does this. Like, just overruling what I set. Absolutely love it. Thank you, EA. Handoff. This is to... Oh my God. Oh my Lord. That was Jalen Warren. And CJ Clayton just got punched into the dirt. Oh my, we are getting out-physicaled right now by Pittsburgh. This is bad. Bunch look. We're going to go ahead and go man. It's going to be a handoff to Shelton. Linebackers were there this time. Nice fill by Hicks and Matthias. 4 wide receivers in the game, so we respond by going dime. Warren in the backfield. Throwing his Hammond underneath Christian Kirk, taken down by Chauncey Cherry. So 3rd and 8, a long situation up here. Once again, I am going to send pressure this time. I learned my lesson. We sat back last time. We're not going to do that again. We're going to green dog with CJ Clayton in case Shelton stays in. He does not. Hammond sacked. Taken down Sergio Matthias. Pressure got there in time. You rush 6. They're only blocking 5. You're going to have a free rusher. You just got to hope that Madden doesn't have your guys run into each other. That time, Matthias does not, and we get the sack. We're going to force the field goal. 1st down, back on offense, outside zone. Ashton Genty. I did not want that juke to be that slow. I wanted a fast juke. That's not what we get. It is still a gain of 5, and that will be the end of the 1st quarter. 2nd and 5, Josh man in motion. We're going with a little bit of return motion. He's got TJ Watt covering him, and we're going to float this one out. Trey Tucker makes the catch. Joey Porter all over him, but Tucker, he's got those sure hands, man, able to haul it in. Light box, I'm going to check into the run. We're running power. This can be a good down block here from Jackson Powers Johnson. Hand it off to Genty. It's a good run, gain of 8. 2nd and 2 with Davis in. We go with the play fake, try and take our shot, but we get hit as we throw. Only a 4-man rush, but Patrick Queen still able to get in. 3rd down 2, we're going to fake the jet sweep to Parker Griffin, run, power, good block, Terry Weary. Nice job, Trey Tucker. Ray Davis down to the 21 with a gain of 15. Play fake, rolling right. We're going to throw it back to Josh Mann. Turns upfield, pulls away from Patrick Queen, and he's down to the 7. Inside the 10, sets up 1st and goal. Nice work on the bootleg. You have that little sit route from the guy who's chipping, and it's a really nice throw when the whole defense is chasing after you, booting away. Darnell Washington, the former Steeler, in, and we're going to run toss behind him with Steve Holloway. Lead blocking, but Patrick Queen right there shuts it down. We're making a couple of impact plays on this drive. I don't know if Patrick Queen is actually that good of a football player. Madden sure thinks he is. I'm not sure if I agree with that entirely, but it's the world we have to deal with. And really not seeing a lot of Ashton Genty. Braylon Allen's in the game, so you know the wear and tear is a little bit messed up here. Josh Mann wide open. The mesh does its job, and he is going to walk in the 2nd passing touchdown of the day for Dale Burton. Both Griffin and Mann, the 2 rookies, score a touchdown today. All right, biggest priority for us as we come back on the defense is to see if we can actually stop the run. Shelton in the backfield once again. We're blitzing Matias here. Hammond to throw out to the flat. It is caught. Kendrick Bourne, 1st down. That is not what we were looking for. These 3 deep fire zones are just terrible. I don't know why I even still try running them, because they just don't work. They don't cover anything to the flat whatsoever. Tight look here. Passing is Hammond. Throws it to Metcalf. He's met by Cherry. They're really staying in the bunch look, and their threat of the run is keeping me in Penny. Hammond to throw. He's got Shelton wide open, pulling away from C.J. Clayton. Alohi Gilman, only chance we have. Shelton just pulls away. He even slows up to taunt. It's a touchdown for Pittsburgh. They just ran mesh against the man coverage. We do know there's no switching here. There's no banjoing of calls. C.J. Clayton, fast for a safety, but that is some different kind of speed that Shelton has. He's at 2 very long, explosive plays in Pittsburgh. They are taking it to our defense after an amazing game last week. Genty back in on 1st down. We're running counter. Patrick Queen is just blowing up everything right now. The interior did a really, really good job there. So I was trying to cut it back. It would be cutting inside of the pole, which you don't see all that often. But it was there. It just closed so fast. It was a great job by Queen. Looks like we have possibly Mann here. It is Mann. We throw the slant. We hit Parker Griffin. Patrick Queen is there. It's the 4th catch of the day for Parker Griffin. We got a massive 3rd down coming up here. 3 tight ends on the field. We're running zone right behind Darnell Washington, trying to cut it back with Ray Davis. It's going to be 4th down and inches. Kevin Winston brings us down. And a big, big decision time for us now. I think that I want to go for this. We cannot be far. No, we're right on top of the marker. And Pittsburgh also is not in a goal line defense. So we're just going to sneak it ahead. Burton, we get it. All right, we're at the 2-minute warning now in the 1st half. Really, my goal here is that we cannot let Pittsburgh get the ball to end this half and get any kind of points, because we're already down and they get the ball to start 2nd half. So we have to be smart here, running more mesh. Savion Williams, Pittsburgh cannot keep up in man coverage. We got more speed than them. He's down to the 29. Excellent start to the 2-minute drill. We can really let time kind of be on our side here. There's not a lot of pressure on us. Oh, I mean, this is man, and it looks like they're going to bring the safety down. So I'd love to get a slide out there. But Parker Griffin is really my throw here. Let's see. Can he win against Ramsey? He gets all bottled up. We just had to get rid of the ball. Trying to get it to man on the dig. Could not win there. Slot pressure. Trying to hit Parker Griffin on the dig. But Evan Anthony, the 1st round pick from this past year, able to get his hands up, knock the ball down. Now we got 3rd down and 10. This is the exact situation I just said I don't want to be in. I don't want to be giving Pittsburgh the ball back. But 3rd and 10 against this defense. I'm going to play it kind of safe with a screen. Try and get to Brock Bowers coming back to the middle of the field. Hit him. There we go. 1st down and more to the 14. I am fine not taking my timeouts. Great job. They only rushed 3, but we were still able to get the 1st down. It looks like they're playing kind of soft here now. This is really kind of a tough spot for us. We're going to try and score. We're running a little bit of spot. Hit Brock Bowers. Middle of the field. Vacated, and Bowers is going to walk in. 3 passing touchdowns in the first half for Dale Burton. He hits Griffin. Gets it to man. And now Brock Bowers on the sit route, on the spot concept. Just able to walk right in. I think they ran 1 double. That's why the middle of the field was so open and no one covered Bowers. All right, the passing game is doing a lot of work today. It looked like it was 3 double. You see that? They had 3 guys on Trey Tucker and no one on Brock Bowers. All right, so 35 seconds, 1 timeout for Pittsburgh. We have the NASCAR front on the field because we are expecting pass. Hammond throws underneath, caught by DK Metcalf. That is not going to do them a lot. Why they didn't call a time? Okay, they're going to let the clock run down. All right, well, we'll just back everyone up. That's a weird way to end the half. Hammond's going to throw. Last play of the first half. Everyone's just going down the field in trouble. Lofting it. Jalen Warren wide open. He catches it, but then walks out of bounds. What in the world did I just witness? 0 pass rush. No one carried Warren down the field. He catches the ball, then he stops, and then just walks out of bounds. What a bizarre ending to a explosive first half. The explosiveness comes all from Shelton, the 2nd running back for Pittsburgh. He's so fast, ridiculously explosive. 1 terrible angle by me, and then a mesh play where we just had no chance, as the Bears had no chance of tackling Justin Jefferson, and the Vikings get their 2nd win in a row behind 4 passing touchdowns from Mr. 9 himself. But really, the defense, yeah, they're struggling a little bit, but the explosiveness, I think, is more errors on our part and not so much that we can't hang with them. Whereas on offense, Pittsburgh's doing some stuff. They're stopping the run pretty well. Patrick Queen is feeling himself right now, I think. And the passing game has been what's taking over. The play action game, the quick game, we're hitting our stars. Really, do not tell me this is Baker Mayfield is going to run for like a 40-yard touchdown. How is he going to get? He just pulls away. What did I just see? You've got to be kidding me. They just ran QB power with Baker Mayfield. Oh my goodness. Only in Madden. Crazy. I feel like I didn't even get to actually talk about the game. Patrick Queen is playing amazing. The run game, having a bit of a struggles. Passing game looks great. Defense, we need to be better with just the simple stuff. We got to be able to tackle and pursue. The run game for them has been okay. Just a couple of explosive plays, and I think we can handle it. But the quick passing game for Pittsburgh has been getting us a little bit. Hammond, we are not contesting his throws whatsoever. We might have to go a little bit more man, a little bit more aggressive underneath zone to try and force some of those errant throws. Okay, start of the second half. I remembered to reset everything, so we are now good to go. First down, handoff to Shelton. He is just running so well. Penny's not working. This is kind of one of those games where we actually don't have the interior matchup against this great Pittsburgh offensive line. So we might have to start getting a little bit more creative here. They're going to give it to Shelton again. Matthias meets him. Donaldson finally stands him up. 3rd and inches, we're going to get a QB sneak. Hammond goes ahead, and we do not stuff it this time. We've stuffed a couple of them as of late, but not today. First down, handoff. Warren going outside. He doesn't have the same speed Shelton does. Matthias brings him down for no gain. 2nd and 10, throwing. It is incomplete. Knocked out of the hands of Bourne by Matthias. There we go. Now we have our 3rd down and long passing situation. Exactly what we want. Let's see if we can dial up a little bit of a stunt here from the load front. Trips tight end flex. We're in our check. Hammond to throw. He's rolling. Dumps it underneath. Incomplete. Donaldson with some pressure. Drew Sanders with the coverage. We are getting ourselves off the field. This is why I like to see Patrick Queen not even in the box on first down. Yes, devote yourself to covering Trey Tucker. We give it to Ashton Genty. That is a good gain of 5. Second down, play fake, dump it to Genty. That's going to be enough for a first down. Ramsey rides him out of bounds, but we get the new set of downs. I like numbers out here for the RPO. Bowers got a lead block for Tucker. We just got to get the actual block. This is a bit hit or miss. Swing it out there. Tucker, give it to me, Bowers. There we go. First catch for Trey Tucker. That might be his second, actually, but he gets a first down. Loving the way the offense is moving. Hit Parker Griffin. He's been all over the place today. 5 catches, 50 yards, and that touchdown. He is putting in some serious work. 3rd and inches. We're not messing around here. I wish I could audible, but I cannot because we're in Wildcat. Savion Williams, and the game gets blown up. I figured that we'd be able to run blast and not get destroyed, but Keanu Benton takes us down. Terrible blocking on the backside. I wish I was they ran a gauge 8. Oh my god, why can you not audible in Wildcat? I have a guy who can actually throw the ball in Savion Williams. I could have just thrown it to Dale Burton. He was out there uncovered, and it probably would have been a touchdown. Instead, we got to settle for an AJ Marks field goal. We are up by 7. But man, that feels like a bit of a missed opportunity. Feels like we're finally starting to get to Hammond a little bit. He just had another errant throw on first down. Play fake on second. Routes down the middle of the field. Caught by Christian Kirk. Darian Porter. I thought that he was right there, but it feels like Kirk just kind of pulled away a little bit at the end there. 2nd and 11. Both backs in the game now. Hammond, he is going to throw. Has to get rid of it because pressure was getting there. Gets it to Warren, and he'll bring up a big 3rd down and 7, and they're going empty. This is a situation I want to rush. I want to rush with 5 and hope that our stunt here can open up a one-on-one. Man coverage across the board. Hammond to throw. Wide open Christian Kirk. Terrell Carey didn't even get a hand on him. Hammond, he's getting... What? No way! Dude, you've got to be kidding me. He just broke 3 sacks in one play. Look at this. First, Brendan Mays wins with power. He's able to get to Hammond. He breaks out of that one. He stumbles right into Tommy Donaldson. This should be a sack, but instead, he breaks out of this one. And then Glenn Ramsey finally comes around. He spins out of 3 sacks. This is a game that just got me feeling like it's just not going to go our way. I cannot believe it. In trouble, Hammond throwing to the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown, Christian Kirk. Just, what a drive. What a ridiculous drive. With some ridiculous plays for the Steelers offense. In trouble, off his back foot, rolling right, throws a bullet to the end zone. Carey can't break it up. He's having a terrible game. He's having a really, really bad game. And Christian Kirk just mosses him. And we got a tied game. 2nd and 9. This looks like a true blitz look. We get a movement from Pittsburgh. We do not. Single high. Let's just go ahead and progress this thing. Man, he's open. Anthony can't cover him. Josh Mann pulling away into Steeler territory. First down at the 43. Burton crosses 200 yards. One of the best passing performances we've had of the entire season. As I'm going to let the 3rd quarter come to a close here. I will hard count it. Well, they're not going to jump. So we'll let the 3rd quarter go to an end. Man, just a very frustrating game so far. I feel like that the Steelers' offense has not been that good. It's more so our defense just playing bad. 3rd and 1. Give it to Genty. Dude, Jack Kaiser just teleported through the offensive line. No, Jackson Powers Johnson instead just decides to look at Jack Kaiser and then go directly away from him and not block him. Trey Tucker runs into Jack Westover, who runs into Burton. I don't even know how this handoff happens. Like, what is this? Why does this happen? I can't... Come on. Well, I am going for it. 4th and 1. I don't think a field goal helps us in any way here. I'm believing we're going to get some kind of man. We normally do on very short fourth downs. No one's open. Burton, step up and run. Take it inside the 20. We go down at the 19. That's how we do it. We did get man. They covered it pretty well, though. Empty look. We're motioning Ray Davis back in. If one slot comes on this blitz, we are going to throw. We are not, though. Give it to Davis. Going outside. Patrick Queen hits him hard, but it's a gain of 8. Close to the first down, and Braylon Allen's going to be in. Genty is taking one of his patented breaks. 2nd and 2. Give it to big Braylon Allen. Looking for the end zone. Down to the 3. Goal line on the field. 1st and goal. Darnell Washington in motion, but it's a play fake. Here we go. Trying to throw it to Ray Davis, but TJ Watt able to get to us. I had the wrong button in mind there. I thought it was going to be right bumper. It was Y. That's on me. All right. We have to remember last time that we had a situation like this, I missed a wide open corner route because we had man coverage. I'm not going to miss it this time. We're looking for Parker Griffin in case we get it. Brock Bowers hit him. Burton does. He turns upfield. Touchdown Raiders. I can't believe that I got my eyes all the way to backside. We had so much pressure coming. I am so, I'm proud of myself. Woo! I got my eyes all the way to the backside to Brock Bowers, and somehow he doesn't step out of bounds. That's an amazing athletic play. The corner route wasn't open to Griffin. We didn't get a pick from the spot route, and they sent 6, so they had a free rusher. Oh my gosh, that's one of my best plays, honestly. And just like that, there's 6:29 left in this game. This drive is kind of the last chance for Pittsburgh to win the game in regulation, I would think. We get a play fake from Hammond. He's going deep over the head of his receiver. But really, if they don't score on this drive, we'll get the ball back. And then really the best that they'd be able to do is tie. Another pass on 2nd down. Hammond throws to the flat at the feet of Shelton. We got some pressure from Derek Hall. Big 3rd down and 10. Hammond has gotten us with his legs a couple of times, and I'm gonna stunt, but I'm only gonna stunt on the interior. I want these defensive ends to do a good job keeping him in the pocket. 3rd and 10. Here we go. On the throw. Hammond over the middle. Broken up by Mekhi Blackman. Massive PBU over the middle of the field. Hammond, he had room to run. He could have ran for it, but Pittsburgh, they're going to punt, and they called one of my favorite plays. That double cross play is so good. I think I have it in my playbook. So now, 6 minutes, 11 seconds. We got the ball right back on offense very quickly. I doubt we can take the entire rest of the game, but we can really try and just get into field goal range. If we can just get field goal range, we're going to put a lot of pressure on Pittsburgh now. 2nd and 7. Keep on running the ball. Good block, DJ Glaze. Ashton Genty. That is field goal range. Look at DJ Glaze getting all the way down the field there, giving us a key block. Able to spring Genty. Great work by the offensive line on the right side. Weary handles Patrick Queen. Great blocking by Josh Mann on TJ Watt. It gives me a very clean lane to run outside zone through. Barely have to even touch the stick. Good blocking from Bowers. And then look at Glaze getting all the way down the field. That is a very impressive block. Pittsburgh coming out now with a 3-man front. We're going to run outside zone to this again. Ray Davis able to get 6. We're going to bring this down to below 5 minutes. And now that we're in field goal range, I really just kind of want to cover the ball. Make sure we don't fumble. They do have some big hitters. More walked up backers and DBs. I'm just going to keep on running the ball right at them. Give it to Genty. It's a gain of 2. We'll take it down below 4 minutes. Field goal is the name of the game here. Braylon Allen in for 3rd and 2. Give it to Genty. Good block. Holloway, but Patrick Queen. I don't understand how he's able to hit stick me from a standstill of being blocked. I mean, that's just Madden physics for you right there. But we do have the field goal set up. Pittsburgh, they'll have 3.5 minutes to get a score, a stop, and then a field goal at minimum to tie the game. All right, I would say obvious passing situation here, but we have been burned in a spot like this before. They are going to go to the air, though, on first down. Hammond, he's going to run. Got lots of running room. Breaks away from C.J. Clayton. Guys, you've got to be kidding me that we're letting this guy run all over us and breaking a ton of tackles while doing it. It's insane that he's even doing this. 1st and 10, we get motion from Freiermuth. It's a play fake. No, it's a handoff to Warren. It's blown up by Princely Umaamielen. But now they're just going fast. They're just going fast. Every single play, they're just going to go no huddle now. So it's up to me to call a timeout if I don't like the look we're in. Out to the flat. Christian Kirk to tackle for a minimal gain. They are really, really testing me here. They're going bunch. We're going to box it. We're okay. Hammond to throw. He's going outside to Kirk. He catches it! What a catch! Carries all over. Oh, no, he didn't catch it. Oh, he didn't catch it. What? I could have sworn he caught it. I was about to lose my mind. That's a catch. That 100% is a catch. If that's not challenged, then we are extremely fortunate. Oh my, it's not. It is not reviewed. 4th and 9. This is the game. Hammond to throw. We're stunting it up. He has time. Sacked! Finally, we bring him down. Glenn Ramsey on the stunt. We take him down. That's pretty much it. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to have any chance now. We got the pressure. Finally making up for that time where he broke 3 sacks. Ramsey able to get home his 4th on the season. 4th down and 2 coming up here. This is actually a very interesting situation for us to find ourselves in. I think I am going to go for this because a field goal doesn't really do me anything, and a first down would end the game. Genty somehow cannot hear me, so we have to double audible him. We are running our go-to play. We have man coverage, but unblocked defender Evan Anthony takes down Burton. So this game is going to continue. And we just did the pass protection video. Just excellent job by Colton Miller, knowing what he's supposed to do. Just, yeah, don't touch the down edge rusher. Genty, he tries. That's not his man, though. Just, why does this happen? Like, tell me why this happens. Well, Tim Hammond just ran for a touchdown. Another just ridiculous drive where nothing worked. I started running man coverage, and we can't cover anyone in man. Zone coverage, we just leave the flats wide open. So they just walked right down the field. This game is going to come down to an onside kick. Just really, really frustrating game where just Madden things are happening. This is why I don't play more than 1 game per day. I decided to play 2 games today. And this is what I'm getting for it. So, onside kick, hands team on the field. Let's see, does the craziness continue? It's fielded by Dante Thornton. Did not want him to jump for that, a la, oh, who was it? Brandon Bostic, thank you. There we go. But we are going to win this game. Oh, but don't worry, Pittsburgh has to call that last timeout. I thought that's what the clock rundown thing was supposed to do, EA. Like, their big features don't even work. And look, I just took a kneel down. There's no time left. I'm going to win. And I'm not even the accelerated clock. Come on! Alright, well, thankfully this game is over. Pittsburgh gave us a good fight, man. They really did, but I feel like some of this was just EA keeping the game close. Some ridiculous plays happening. That catch by Christian Kirk was insane. 3 broken sacks on 1 play by Tim Hammond. That defense is pretty good, though. Pretty darn good. Patrick Queen, linebackers are just so important in this game. And Patrick Queen, he may suck in real life, but he's really, really good in Madden. But we do come away with this win. Drop Pittsburgh to 7-5. Really, really hurting their playoff seeding opportunities. One of the best games in the career of Dale Burton. 4 passing touchdowns is insane. Run game, very solid from Ashton Genty. All around, great game. Receiving, we spread the ball around almost perfectly to all of our playmakers. Defensively, 11 tackles for Sergio Matias, 3 TFLs, 2 sacks split between Wilson and Ramsey, and then Matias had 1. We did not get much in terms of PBUs, I don't think. It was really just Hammond missing. And like, yeah, it's the most predictable thing. When you have to rely on the quarterback to miss his passes, which Hammond did a fair amount of, that's when like the weird stuff happens. When you're actually forcing PBUs, that's when your defense plays well. And if you look at what Pittsburgh did, they forced a lot of PBUs. They forced 6 of them. We got 2 upgrades here for CJ Hicks. This is probably for tackles, which is exactly what it is. 75 in a season. So this will definitely help him out a little bit. Should get him to an 82 overall. We'll go 2 hybrid, getting some man and zone blend there, and then we will go with it again, see how we do. 2 zone. Okay, so 88 zone, 86 without the boost. That's pretty darn good. The tackling's in a good spot too. Hicks, that's a good upgrade for him. And we do get another upgrade point for Josh Mann. This gets him to a 75 overall, 80 overall with his morale. Route running gets a very solid boost, up to 77 boosted medium route running. Well, we did not achieve our goal when it came to the game plan. I'm going to let him answer for it. I wasn't very impressed with our game plan. It should have resulted in a few takeaways. Yeah, it should have, but, you know, it didn't. But we still get 10 morale. Well, I don't think many of our defenders need morale. I will take it, though, I guess. Oh, the faith in Jamarcus Russell, guys, has dropped from 100% across the board to now 99%. The players trust him 2% less. I guess the season is over. But it is now time for us to take a look at this draft class for the very first time that you guys are seeing it. It's an interesting draft. The strengths, remember, are wide receiver, running back, and interior defensive line. Is a weak quarterback class, as we knew about going into the year. In our draft picks, right? We don't pick until the 3rd round. It looks like we will have a moderately early 3rd round pick. So realistically, the earliest I see us selecting this year is in the 2nd if we trade up. So really, all of these top prospects, you can just forget about them. So it's a unique draft because there's a lot of talent at positions we don't need, like wide receiver and running back. And then we also just aren't going to be picking that early. So I've been identifying some position players that I do like. And the first one here is Jason Richardson at quarterback. Now, why quarterback? Well, I've made it clear that I'm not crazy obsessed with how Dale Burton's been playing. He's been a bit more inaccurate than I would like. And Richardson, he's a great tester. He's got a great arm. He's kind of got the makeup of an interesting quarterback. He's young. He's got good size. He's athletic. I just want to see if he is possibly worth a selection. This scouting, if it turns out that he is like a round 2 talent, then we probably aren't as interested. But I'm interested in giving him a go right now when we're kind of just trying to find players that I like. Next up is Dante Malone. He is a safety from LSU, another round 2 to 3 talent. I really like his skill set. The A-man, B-zone, a pretty good athlete for the safety position. I do think we could use another safety. I wouldn't mind the idea of moving CJ Hicks back to the slot. Maybe now that he's kind of figured some things out, he's got his dev revealed, he's a little bit better of an overall player. Maybe next year we can put him back in the slot. Or CJ Clayton, you know, he's a normal dev player. Maybe we can upgrade here. Malone, I think he's got the size, the athleticism. He's got a nice skill set. I'm interested in taking a look at him. And then finally, we have Esteban Estes. He is a guard prospect who just looks really, really clean. Great size. The athleticism is good for a guy at his size. And then the A awareness and A impact blocking is very intriguing. So we're looking for kind of bargain bin hunting. So, you know, we're not going to be getting the most intriguing options. We don't have a ton of information because we don't have the scouting reports for the later round guys until later in the year. So those are the guys that I found early enough that we could be intrigued enough by them so we can scout them now. All right, what's up, everybody? We had a little bit of an issue with the audio from the Chargers game at this point moving forward. So we're going to wrap up this last game here against LA with some post commentary. This is our second matchup against the Chargers. Remember, the last one that we had was the big Elijah Moore game. We were barely able to beat LA by 3. It was a weird game, right? They didn't run the ball well aside from one long Britton Mason touchdown in the fourth quarter that made things a little bit more interesting than they had to. But Justin Herbert, he only threw the ball 20 times, which was very, very interesting, but he's extremely efficient. We know this team offensively can put up a lot of points. I still remember the game last year where Ladd McConkey took over with the 2 long touchdown receptions. Didn't happen so much in this game, but they're coming into this one at 6-6. They had a 3-game losing streak following their bye week, and then a 3-game winning streak that they are riding right now, trying to get their season back on track and get back into the playoff hunt. But they are not going to be full strength for this game. Zion Johnson at left guard is out, and Branson Taylor is in. And you can see, looking at the ratings here, Taylor's certainly not the same quality of guard that Johnson is. That's a big loss for them. And also, starting defensive tackle Scott Mills is also out, so that leaves only Levi Muzurike and Justin Eboigbe in the middle. They're not great against the run, so my game plan going into this game was to run the ball a lot and see if that could free us up a little bit. They have great linebackers with Henley and Christopher Faulkner. So moving into our scenario that was talking about how our offense is going to attack their defense, I knew I was going to focus on the ground game. Now, our offensive coordinator wanted to go more with deep passing, but I overruled him there and told him to focus on the ground game. He didn't love that. We got some -5 morale there, but our morale is really, really good right now, so we didn't need to worry too much about that. And then we ended up getting a goal for Ashton Jeanty to give him 20 carries in this game. Sounds doable and very reasonable for a guy as good as Jeanty, but then when you remember, since we've been doing more running back rotation, he's been coming out more in the third quarter to get rested up for the fourth quarter, so I don't expect him to get that, if I'm being honest. But into the game, back at home, Charles Woodson's here. Don't worry, guys, I just didn't decide to show him. Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers, 6-6, trying to get above 500 for the first time this season. Meanwhile, the Raiders trying to keep that winning streak going and extend it to 12 games. Chargers offense would start out the game, and my entire game plan was really to take advantage of this weaker interior offensive line. Obviously, no Zion Johnson at left guard. I thought we had a good matchup at center. Play fake for Herbert on the second down of the game, and it'll be a first down to Britton Mason, breaking 1 tackle before able to pick up the first. We get 3rd and 8 a little bit later, though. Herbert back to throw. In trouble, down he goes, courtesy of Tyree Wilson, his 2nd sack of the episode, getting more and more opportunities to rush from the interior on 3rd downs, and he's really taking advantage. Just whooped Connor McGovern there with a nice swipe and took down Herbert to get us off the field and put this offense, the best offense in the NFL, back on 3rd down and 3 light front from LA. They do this a lot, coming out in stacks. That leaves a wide open running lane for us to run with Ashton Jeanty for a first down. 2nd down later on drive, you see again that 3-man front, very light. We run the RPO, just a quick little numbers game out to Trey Tucker, and it will be close to the first down. 3rd and 2, we go a bit heavier. 2 running backs, give it to Jeanty. Nice lane paved by that offensive line. Jeanty down inside the 20, 4 carries on the first drive. We are kind of going to give you the condensed game version here. In and out in 20-25 minutes is my goal because of the audio issues. We get 3rd down and 10 on the drive. Burton trying to throw, and he overthrows Brock Bowers. That's amazing short and medium accuracy. Certainly has not been showing itself all the time. So it would lead to an AJ Marks field goal, would be up and good, and we would take a 3-0 lead. Back on defense, tight condensed look for LA, and Herbert, he's going to play fake it, booting left, throwing, and he's got Oronde Gadsden pulling away from our defense for the first down. Gadsden, that former wide receiver, using his speed to his advantage. 3rd down and 8, though, later on the drive. We get an empty bunch look. Herbert to throw. He's going to look over the middle of the field, and it is a tight contested catch made by Jalen Coker for the 1st down. It's a really good throwing catch. I triggered on that as fast as I could with Malachi Moore. I thought we were in great position to do so, but Herbert still able to thread that needle. Hand off to Marion Hampton on 1st down to end the 1st quarter. This is a big run, best run that he's had against us so far this season. He would take the Chargers down to 25 as we move into the 2nd quarter. Now, right here, we're going to give up a touchdown. This is going to be a bad job by me on the user by CJ Clayton. Aronde Gadsden would get in. Chargers ran 4 verticals, and I responded by calling stubby. It was trips, so we had the stubby check. Now, you remember, the hook defender is not responsible for carrying 3 vertical. That is my job as the safety. I got too far over number 2 and didn't give myself enough space to get back over to 3. I needed to squeeze 3 a lot better than this. Clayton, he still almost makes the play, but couldn't quite get his hand on it. Speaking about getting your hand on this, check out Benjamin St. Just with the diving PBU on the dig route intended for Parker Griffin. We'll bring up 3rd down and 11. A lot of 3rd downs early in this game for our offense. If we weren't able to run the ball, then we kind of got ourselves into trouble. But check this out. 3rd and 11. Tuli Tuipulotu is over Ashton Genty, and we're going to get the easiest long touchdown of our lives. Truly the reigning defensive player of the year. He's a very good pass rusher, but I don't think putting him out in coverage over Ashton Genty is the best idea. It will be a long touchdown for us. Easy. We are back in front, 10-7. On defense once again now, and the Chargers, they were doing this a lot. They would switch their formations and then audible right back as I would audible. Kind of like I was playing online Madden again, if I'm being honest, which is not what I wanted it to feel like playing against the CPU. They get a 1st down on the crossing route to Ladd McConkey, and then they're just going to run 4 verticals again over the middle of the field. It is caught by Elijah Moore lining up at tight end because the CPU can just do that. Put your fast wide receiver at tight end and then run 4 verticals. If only we could do that, but no. But they get payback here because they try to run end around to Elijah Moore. Drew Sanders blows it up, brings up 3rd down and 12 with a very heavy personnel on the field. Chargers, they're going to run it. They give it to Marion Hampton, and Darian Porter stands him up. A gain of 1 puts him at the 44, and they don't kick the field goal. They just punt. So absolutely terrible management of the field, the down and distance, just conceding the punt. It's a net of 25 on the kick, and we get the ball back with the lead. So a really bad sequence there for the Chargers. Puts us back on offense. Throw over the middle is caught by Parker Griffin for a 1st down. That's what we were trying to do on the previous drive with the dig. We get single high once again. Tight look, play fake for Burton. Man coverage, lofted out. Brock Bowers, you can't hang with him. Diane Henley. That is a 1st down passing game. Finally moving here. We're going to hand the ball off to Genty on the RPO. Great block from Josh Mann. Another gaping running lane opened up by this offensive line as we're going to run down to about 4 minutes in the 1st half. Bowers motions out. We're running buck sweep the other way. Give it to Genty. Tooley can't keep up. Great block. Terry Weary inside the 15 goes Genty. 8 carries, 53 yards in the 1st half. Had me thinking maybe we could get this goal. We get pressure here on 3rd and 7. We cannot get the ball out to Brock Bowers. Muzurike gets to Burton. This was a bad job by me. I was very intent on reading the right side because we got single high. But look at the left side here. I could either float this ball out to Ashton Genty or loft it to the corner to Trey Tucker. Both were coming open, and both were likely touchdowns. So a bad miss by me there. Chargers back on offense. They try and run outside zone, but Brendan Mays shuts it down for a loss of 2. We would get 3rd and 11. And in this situation, I was being pretty conservative. I just wanted to call man-to-man. But look who's wide open. Ladd McConkey pulls away from Hicks and Blackman for the touchdown. It feels like deja vu seeing Herbert step up in the pocket and uncork one down the field to McConkey for a long touchdown before half. This was a really frustrating play because I went back and broke this down. It was a failure by both Hicks and Blackman. You're going to see here in a second. Hicks, he's in great position right here. He's straddling between 1 and 2. If he just keeps on running the way he's going, he's great. But look what he does. He widens himself out for no reason. And look at Blackman. He just sits there and lets McConkey run right past him. I didn't shade underneath. This was just what EA gave me. So terrible, terrible coverage there. Chargers get a free touchdown. We got a free touchdown to Genty, so it's basically like nothing really happened. But we have a 2-minute drill. That pass to Savion Williams is caught. We'll bring up 3rd and 1. We loft it out to Trey Tucker on the shallow cross, and he's got lots of running room into Charger territory. Man coverage against an in-breaking route from a tight look. Advantage always is going to go to the offense. 2nd and 6. Trying a simple throw over the middle to Brock Bowers, and Dale Burton misses him again. I really don't know what the deal is with his accuracy. We're accurate this time, though. Out to Trey Tucker, turn the corner, get away from Tooley on the motion, speed out, and get the first down. So we're running a little bit low on time. We still have a couple of chances to get some yardage and get in a good position to get points, but this isn't going to help. Pass interference is called on Parker Griffin. If you saw that play, it really didn't look like any PI. I don't know what EA was calling there. So we have to set up a screen. We get it to Ashton Genty. We're below 30 seconds now, and we have 2nd and 9. So at this point, I'm really just trying to see, can we get a first down and spike the ball? And that's exactly what we're going to do here. Get it to Josh Mann inside the 10. Clock is running down, so we're going to get up, spike the ball, and we'll have 1 or 2 chances to throw into the end zone, try and get a touchdown. So we're going to come out with a trips look, and we're running crash to the left side, but I want to peek Josh Mann running this seam against middle field open. If it's there, I want to rip it. So here we go. Man free release. We throw and miss once again. Very, very frustrating. A couple of big misses in the red zone from Dale Burton. We have to take another field goal and go into halftime up 16-14. So my general feeling was run game great. We had to pass the ball a little bit at the end just because of the situation, so we couldn't unveil the run game in the full extent that I wanted to. Defense was okay. Couple of big plays. Aronde Gadsden's a mismatch problem, and I decided, well, I guess I'm not going to go man-to-man, and if I do go man-to-man, we will shade over the top to prevent Mekhi Blackman from doing whatever he just did. So overall, I felt pretty good going into the second half. We get the ball to start the second half, and we start with the RPO out to Parker Griffin on the out route, pulls away from Benjamin St-Juste, and we're already into Charger territory. We had a nice kick return from the special teams unit before we got back on the field, and we almost give the ball right back to Benjamin St-Juste, who's had a couple of nice PBUs this game. Brings up 3rd down and 10. We get man coverage. We hit Parker Griffin on the shallow. Dante Jackson cannot keep up, and Griffin, he bounces off some tacklers down inside the 30. Burton goes over 200 yards passing on the day. 1st and 10. Williams in the game for Griffin. I like this matchup. If we get man, I want to loft it out to the corner. That's exactly what we get. To the corner of the end zone. Savion Williams. It's right through his hands. I couldn't believe it. I called it when I threw it that I had the throw exactly where I wanted. And right here, talk about failure by me in pass protection. We just did the pass pro video. I needed to know that I'm hot off Dion Henley. Not as smart Madden players would say that the O-line was completely stupid there. No, I was stupid and let Henley run right through. Didn't have my hot read. We have to take another field goal from AJ Marks, and it is going to be 19-14 with the Chargers getting the ball back. So we're letting them kind of stay in this game. Play fake for Herbert, more Y cross. They were killing us with Y cross with Aronde Gadsden. He will end the game with over 100 yards receiving. We could not cover him. Taking a deep shot now. Pass is broken up by Darian Porter. He's holding Elijah Moore on the outside there to a pretty quiet game. We'll bring up 3rd down and 9. We get some motion from Jalen Coker, and he is wide open on the out route. CJ Clayton, don't know what we're doing, man. It was a simple out route. You're the flat defender. You have to break on the ball. 1st down, motion from Gadsden, fake the counter from Herbert. He's got play action. No one's open, though, and he gets sacked by Princely Umamiel, his second sack of the season, beating Joe Alt there. Brings up 3rd and 16 from trips. Herbert looking to throw to the corner. It's over the head of Gadsden. A better throw might have been picked off by C.J. Clayton. So Cameron Dicker this time, he is on for a 55-yard field goal from long range, but he's got enough of a leg, but he doesn't have the accuracy. Missing it wide to the right. And so we get the ball back at the 45, basically already in field goal range for A.J. Marks. Prime position to take a big lead, and this is going to help Ashton Jeanty into the open field, inside the red zone, inside the 10, down to the 8, nearing 100 yards on the day. This might have been the best play of the entire game. Look at the blocking from Westover, Colton Miller, kicking out the linebacker, and some great blocking from Trey Tucker. So you know we got to reward the little guy. Running bootleg out to the right. Tucker in the end zone makes a spectacular leaping catch. I thought that ball was lofted down a little bit too much, but no one for LA reacted to it. Tucker was able to run right underneath it and secure the touchdown catch. So massive swing. It's a 10-point swing in the game from LA missing the field goal to us scoring the touchdown in just a couple of plays. Now up by 2 possessions as the third quarter coming to an end. Chargers really got to get something going here on this offensive drive. This screen out to Britton Mason. He breaks the tackle of Darian Porter. I couldn't expect Porter to be super reliable tackling this entire game. So 2nd and 7 now inside of Raider territory. Marion Hampton would get down to the 34 and bring up a big 3rd and 1. Herbert would try and keep it, but Brendan Mays blows it up for a loss of 3, and LA has got a decision to make. Now they're keeping the offense on the field. We call palms. I want to stop anything to the outside fast from 2. We get motion from Jalen Coker, and they run the same out route that they ran on that 3rd down on the previous possession, and we cannot break it up. That would end the 3rd quarter. LA threatening to score. They're doing some more audibling here, but we're in pretty good position. Out of empty now. Herbert going to take his shot for Hampton. Overthrows coverage by Carey. So 3rd down and 7. 3 tight ends on the field. Again, what are we doing here, LA? They're running mesh, but we have it all bottled up, and it's another sack for Tyree Wilson. 3 sacks in this episode. I cannot believe it. He's been so effective rushing from the interior on these 3rd downs. It really is a role that seems to be kind of handmade for him. So after all this, LA is going to have to kick once again. So they trot out Dicker. This one a little bit shorter. From 49, he drills it, but it is still a 9-point game. We're still up by 2 possessions. This is a perfect situation for us. We get the ball back, trying to bleed some clock, but we're also trying to keep our foot on the gas and talk about turning on the Jets. Dale Burton scrambling out to the 43. 2nd and 13 from empty. Great blocking from Steve Holloway. Opens up a running lane. Burton across midfield, slides down at the 40. You better believe that is the NFL leading rusher at quarterback right there. You best believe it. But we're going to give it to the league's leading rusher here, Ashton Jeanty. Nice little power, good kick-out block from Steve Holloway. Brings up 3rd and 3. Ray Davis in the game. Jeanty, he's coming out because he obviously can't handle that many carries. We give it to Davis. He gets blown up by Dion Henley, who does a great job getting off of Darnell Washington. And now we have a decision to make. 4.5 minutes to go, up by 9. A field goal doesn't help me much. I wanted to see how long of a 1 yard was it. Pretty short. And LA didn't come out in a QB sneak defending formation. So now they've made the game a lot harder for themselves because they need to stop the clock relatively soon to get the ball back and then get it back again after scoring. We run the ball with Braylon Allen, get 9 yards, but we're going to help the Chargers because Terry Weary gets hurt. Now, he would be okay, but this is big for clock purposes. 3rd down and 3. Under 3 minutes to go. We're in the Wildcat. Savion Williams, we're running power, trying to just get the 1st down, but we cannot do that. LA would call their first timeout. We'd kick another field goal with AJ Marks. We're back to a 12-point game with under 3 minutes to go. So now, back on defense, my only goal was to make sure the Chargers score after the 2-minute warning. I wanted them to have to give the ball back to me with less than 3 clock stoppages left, because that would mean we would take a lot of time. So we're trying to keep everything in bounds, everything short, everything in front of us. We hit the 2-minute warning before the Chargers even cross midfield. So that is perfect. 3rd down and 2. We have this rush front on the field. Herbert throws over the middle. It is caught by Gadsden, but we're keeping them in bounds. The throws are short. We're letting that clock tick. You can hear it ticking away in Herbert's head. They're hurrying back to the line. Trips formation, play fake. You're not running the ball. I know this. Herbert steps up, taking a shot down the field for Gadsden. It is broken up by Darian Porter. 2nd and 10. More receivers running down the field. Another deep shot. Testing Porter again. And he denies that one for Jalen Coker. So, 3rd and 10. 90 seconds left. Herbert to throw. He's got him on the out route. That is caught by Oronde Gadsden. Herbert hits 300 passing yards, but the clock really starting to become a factor now. It's getting to a point where even if they score, if they don't recover the onside kick, the game is over. Trying to get into the end zone. A tackle from Darian Porter makes it 3rd and 2 at the 8. The clock is such a big factor right now. Man-to-man coverage. No one open. Knocked away. Terrell Carrion. This is it. 4th and 2. Bunch formation on the field. We get in the face of the receivers. LA, they're going to shift. That's okay. We're in fine position. So, here we go. Game on the line. Mason in motion. Herbert to throw. He's rolling out left. Throws! And it is broken up by Derek Hall. And that would do it. We get the ball back. Kneel it out twice, because LA obviously calls their last timeout because they have to do that, right? But we move on to 12 and 1. And I mentioned it in the game. You didn't see it with the ticker here. But the Broncos lost to the 3-win Chicago Bears, which clinches us the AFC West with that victory. And next episode, we just need one win to clinch the number 1 seed in the AFC. We could clinch and then have 3 games following where we could just rest our starters and don't have to do anything. So, as far as how next episode is going to look, I'm going to play our next game against the Texans, right? Very tough matchup against a great defense. If we win that, then you will get gameplay like this, where I'm just going to go over the highlights. I don't think anyone wants to see a ton of offense with Malik Willis or Dalton Barton starting games. I think we would love to just get to the playoffs. The season's already getting quite long as it is, especially when you add that 17th game in, which is just terrible in my opinion, but I digress. So that's going to do it for this episode. Again, I do apologize for the audio issues. I've made sure to turn off all of the new settings that I tried to put on for the Chargers game to make things sound a little bit better. It certainly did not do that. So we'll be back to everything sounding the way it did for the first 2 games next episode. Thank you very much for watching this episode of the Las Vegas Raiders franchise. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and while you're here, go ahead and check out the most recent Chalk Talk where we went over the basics of pass protection. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.